First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Breaking news in Suffolk right now. That's where police are trying to identify this man.
Investigators say he showed up at Nansman Suffolk Academy at around 6 this morning and believed he was supposed to start school there today. An NSA spokesperson told 10 on your side the maintenance crew went to open the buildings and found him outside.
The school called police. He never went inside the buildings.
He told officers his name was Cyrilin and he was 15, even though he appears older than that. He said he lived in Emporia, but couldn't say exactly where.
So if you have seen this man before, call police.
Flames and smoke filled a Chesapeake home, killing a man.
This happened on Dorcas Road in the South Norfolk section just before 8 this morning. 10 on your side's Melanie Woodrow has been on the scene all day. Melanie, have fire investigators released a cause yet?
No, they have not released the cause yet, but they have said that the fire started in the front portion of the house that you can see just over my shoulder. They also tell me that that is where they found this man's body.
It's definitely sad. And
neighbor Angela Helvey said she slept through the fire trucks and first responders arriving.
I came out to go get the paper, and that's when I saw I was like, oh my gosh.
Fire investigators spent the morning searching for clues and securing this home.
Well, I woke up probably about, at 6 this morning, and I saw the fire trucks, but it's nothing unusual for them to be here, truthfully, because the police and the fire were always here.
Helvey says that's because both of her neighbors had health issues. Officials confirm fire and EMS crews have been called out to the house 22 times since the start of the year. Fire investigators confirmed the man whose body they found inside this home was in a wheelchair. Helvey says a woman lived here too. Someone found that woman safe away from the home, but she was not here this morning when firefighters arrived, and that worried Helvey.
But as far as she's concerned, that's it's a little alarming because, she does have some kind of a mental problem.
Investigators say the woman who lived here is not considered a person of interest. A dog did not survive the fire, and investigators said they have not found a second family dog. And fire officials are also telling me that one of the firefighters did suffer some minor burns here fighting this fire this morning, but that he was treated and released. Reporting live in Chesapeake, Melanie Woodrow, 10 on your side.
The victim's body has been taken to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy. The medical examiner's office, the man's name is not being released until his family is notified. Investigators say that food left on a stove sparked an apartment fire in Newport News overnight. It happened around midnight along Bellwood Road. Firefighters put out the flames in 15 minutes. No one was hurt. The person living in that fire-damaged apartment is staying with friends.
Shot while sleeping. Chesapeake police say it happened to someone overnight along Campostella Road. Detectives say a gunman fired several shots into the mobile home from outside at around 2 a.m. Rescue crews took the victim to the hospital. We are told he will survive. The 13-year-old boy charged in the deadly shooting of a 12-year-old Chesapeake girl remains in police custody. A judge refused to release him during a hearing today. Police say the boy shot and killed Carolyn C.C. Walker on Geneva Avenue in Deep Creek in January. He faces manslaughter and gun charges. Detectives say he got the weapon from another child, and that child took it from a parent without the person knowing. The boy charged in the deadly shooting is due back in court April 6th.
Virginia Beach police say that someone is targeting people while they exercise. Several thefts are reported from the locker room area at One Life Fitness Center on Princess Anne Road. It's happened since January, and most of the crimes happened during the day. These are surveillance pictures of the suspects using the victims' credit cards. Detectives say that people didn't realize they were victims of a crime until their credit card companies contacted them. Investigators say the victims left their property unattended. If you recognize the suspects, call the crime line.
A local Coast Guard crew made a big drug bust at sea. The Portsmouth-based Northland stopped a boat in the Caribbean Sea on March 3rd and confiscated more than 3,500 pounds of cocaine. The drugs are worth more than $43 million. They arrested 4 people. A Coast Guard helicopter crew from Florida first spotted the boat with the drugs on the deck.
The U.S. official says that there is probable cause to hold a soldier accused of killing 16 Afghan civilians. In Afghanistan today, people burned crosses in effigy of President Barack Obama, and they shouted for Americans to leave the country. Something that couldn't be missed, the horror for the families who lost their loved ones in the massacre. On Sunday, investigators said an American staff sergeant walked a mile from base and shot Afghan men, women, and children in their homes. And in light of this recent allegations, we want to know what impact, if any, you think this could have on our men and women overseas. 10 on your side's Katie Collett joins us now. So, Katie, some local lawmakers said they fear retaliation. What do residents think?
Alvita, I spoke with 2 women today in Newport News who have loved ones in Afghanistan. They have mixed feelings about the impact the allegations against this U.S. soldier could have on their family members overseas.
He does something with the weapon systems. He can't tell me exactly what he does.
Janice Morgan speaking about her son Josh. The 28-year-old's been in Afghanistan since November. Josh, familiar with the country. He served a tour of duty in Afghanistan before leaving the Army to work as a contractor.
He sent pictures back when he was there as a soldier with the kids that had guns. And they were barefoot in the cold.
When word got out of a soldier from Washington State allegedly shooting and killing 16 Afghan civilians, Janice says she wasn't shocked.
I just think the guy had a breakdown. Normal people don't do things like that. He probably went there and he was fine and saw things that none of us have ever seen. And has had to do things that we haven't had to do.
Janice says it's not her son she worries about.
I'm more fearful for the soldiers than for my son.
Soldiers like 23-year-old Edward Shiflett, who left today for Afghanistan.
It's scary. It's really scary.
His Aunt Missy says this is Edward's 3rd deployment to the country, but she says her concern of retaliation this time around is no different than any other.
I have concerns about that every time he goes over, regardless whether that happened. It was a sad situation that happened, but I have it every time he goes. But I just have to focus and say, God, please be with him and keep him safe and bring him home.
Missy says military families can't focus on the what-ifs. They just have to take life day by day.
It's a job. He has to do it. He knows that, and he's proud to do it, and I'm proud of him, and just I want him to come home soon.
Now, these killings brought into question the mission in Afghanistan, but Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says the U.S. is committed to cooperation with the Afghan government and people as they continue to strengthen their security and democratic institutions. Katie Collett, 10 on your side.
President Obama is speaking out tonight about the deadly shootings in Afghanistan. Hear his reaction tonight at 5:30.
We have some breaking news out on the highway. You're looking at the backup on the Hampton side of the HRBT. You see traffic is at a standstill there. State police say there's an accident inside the eastbound tube.
At least one person is hurt, we understand. We're also told that rescue crews have not yet arrived. We will continue to follow this breaking story and bring you updates as we get them.
A death investigation in Portsmouth.
Because he wasn't the type of person that didn't come home every night.
Ahead on WAVY News 10 at 5:30, more from the family of the man found dead in a pond.
Hamburgers, hot dogs, they're all American. New research says they're all bad for you. Then on your side gets to the bottom of the beef debate.
And your home could be leaking enough water every year to wash nearly a year's worth of laundry. There's a push right now to stop wasting water and money. Hear what the EPA wants you to do.
And a look at our beautiful weather. It's 77 degrees, and really there's no cold air anywhere on this map. It's basically in the 60s, 70s, near 80 degrees. We saw a high today, well into the 70s. What's going to be for tomorrow? Well, it's looking good too. We'll tell you all about it in a few minutes.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Rivas, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
It's Fix a Leak Week. The Environmental Protection Agency encourages you to check your toilets and faucets for leaks, twist and tighten pipe connections, and replace the fixture if necessary. You can check your toilet for a silent leak by putting a few drops of food coloring in the tank. If the color appears in the toilet bowl before you flush, you have a leak. The EPA says more than 1 trillion gallons of water leaks from homes nationwide each year. The average home leaks about 10,000 gallons alone, and that's enough to wash nearly 10 months worth of laundry.
Tonight's 10 time saver traffic alert applies to another weekend of work at the high-rise bridge in Chesapeake. The eastbound lanes heading towards Suffolk on Interstate 64 will close on Friday night at 7 for repaving. Crews should have the work done by 5 on Monday. Monday morning, that is. VDOT says that this will be the final closure for this project for the eastbound lanes. Drivers should use the I-264 downtown tunnel or Gilmerton Bridge instead.
Virginia Beach City Council is meeting tonight, and light rail is on the agenda. Researchers from Christopher Newport University conducted a telephone survey last year and found 80% of those people living in Norfolk and Virginia Beach want to see the line extended. 10 on your side's Jason Marks is at the council meeting. We'll let you know what happened tonight at 11.
There's apparently a problem with the lights at light rail intersections in Norfolk. 10 on your side talked to the city and drivers about the issue, new tonight at 5:30.
Someone should have used spell check. We'll show you the mistake spelled out not far from this California elementary school.
Then burgers taking a beating and some new research. 10 on your side asks experts how much beef is too much. We are continuing to follow breaking news at the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. Traffic is stopped right now, headed towards Hampton.
And there you are looking at this. This is the HRBT back up on the Hampton side. State police say there's an accident inside the eastbound tube there. At least one person is hurt, we're told, and we're told rescue crews have not even arrived there on scene. We will continue to follow this story and bring you the latest updates as soon as we get them.
We've all heard too much of a good thing is a bad thing. A new study suggests any amount of red meat is bad.
Researchers said just one serving a day, about the size of a deck of cards, significantly increases your risk of death. 10 on your side, Stephanie Harris talked to a local doctor.
Whether it's beef, red wine, coffee, or chocolate, it seems science attacks our favorite foods one day, then tells us they're healthy the next. So, is anyone really surprised Harvard researchers say beef is bad?
No, not really.
The question is, how much stake should you place in this study? Researchers followed 120,000 people for 28 years. Those who ate red meat daily increased their risk of death, heart disease, and cancer. Those who ate mostly processed meat, like hot dogs and bacon, had an even higher risk.
It really represents the past 28 years of eating habits versus the kind of eating habits we have now.
Cardiologist Carl Hartman believes, in general, we've already cut back.
This is a once-a-week ritual, but other than that, I don't eat red meat.
Once or even twice a week is okay, according to Dr. Hartman. But what about this? The National Cattlemen's Beef Association pointed us to another study called BOLD, Beef in an Optimal Lean Diet. It showed eating lean beef every day could reduce bad cholesterol as much as other heart-healthy diets.
That might be the case, and I can't refute that.
But he says there's a pretty common and consistent message now. Too much red meat is a risk. How big a risk you take is up to you. Stephanie Harris, 10 on your side.
Bottom line, if you're going to eat red meat, lean is better.
So check your labels and remember, broiling or grilling is healthier than frying. Well, last week, 10 on your side told you about pertussis or whooping cough, and it's widespread across Hampton roads. Well, tonight we have learned the Norfolk Health Department is offering free Tdap vaccinations for anyone 19 or older who cares for who has contact with infants and young children. The shot offers protection against tetanus and diphtheria and pertussis. Pertussis can be deadly to babies. The free walk-in vaccination clinics are Monday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Norfolk Health Department's main public health center on Southampton Avenue, and between 8:30 and 10:30 a.m. and 1 to 3:30 p.m. at the Little Creek Center on East Little Creek Road.
There's a state of emergency in several areas of southern Louisiana. Floodwaters forced dozens of people out of their homes there. Thunderstorms triggered that flooding. 19 inches of rain fell in some areas in a matter of hours, covering streets and filling houses with waist-high water. National Guard troops and firefighters rescued people from flooded homes and vehicles.
Water was pushing like moving the pick, like almost picking a package car up and moving it, so it's dangerous.
My floors, all the floors are floating in there, all the carpet. I got leather chairs, I got sofas, I got electrical, I got baby stuff. Underwater, floating in my house.
No deaths or serious injuries are reported. Another gorgeous day here in Hampton Roads, that's for sure.
It started out with rain here, though.
Yeah, it started out with rain, and
I almost forgot it rained.
Yeah. And the thing about it is there's still a couple of puddles around probably, but not all that much. We didn't get all that much rain this morning. It was dreary this morning, and then Powell, the sun popped free, and that was it. We ended up with lots of sunshine during the day today, and our temperatures really, really skyrocketed. Here's a look at the cloud cover that's been going on over the past hour and a half, and you can see again, a few stray clouds, that's about it. We're likely to see a few more overnight as a little wind shift line pops on through and flips the winds on around. Now, during the day today, we topped off in Norfolk, for example, at 77. And that was at 4 o'clock and is the current temperature reading, for example, in Norfolk. So again, very, very nice and warm. Once we got the sun out, it was been into the 60s, though, during the morning. But again, temperatures, once the sun broke free, we ended up with lots of temperatures into the 70s. Our low last night, 58. Temperatures right now mostly into the low 70s all the way on up to about 77, 79 in Williamsburg, even 72 in Memphis, surrounded by the water. So again, very, very nice warm day throughout the entire region, and it's going to stay pretty warm coming up for tomorrow. Along the oceanfront areas, though, it'll likely be a little bit cooler during the day for tomorrow. Now, as I mentioned, there are a few clouds popping in overnight, and then we'll get to the temperatures, and we still got good news there. We've got a few clouds dropping on through overnight with that wind shift line, which is real slow to make its way through. There's where it is by tomorrow morning at 7. The cloud cover is pretty much gone. Westerly winds at 10, becoming northerly at 10 to 15. Now, that northerly breeze will hold the temperature down just a bit at Norfolk and Virginia Beach near the water, but then farther inland, it's not going to have much of an effect at all. Winds finally becoming more easterly by the end of the day. Here's where things are by 7 o'clock in the evening. Take it through the overnight hours and into Thursday. Thursday looks even warmer. 5 to 10 mile an hour winds, no effect of the water coming in to speak of, or the air off the water for Norfolk and Virginia Beach coming up on Thursday as we see more of a southwesterly breeze at 10 to 15. Plenty of sunshine, and it'll likely warm up to close to 80 degrees coming up during the day on Thursday. Now, highs today, 75, 77, 72, 79 degrees in a few parts of the area. Richmond, for example, in Williamsburg. We're likely to warm up to that again, and inland areas will really warm up. 80 toward Ahoskie, 75 Elizabeth City, 64 degrees at Nags Head. We move up to the south side. Again, here's the cooler air coming in off the water here, and then more of a northeast wind during the afternoon hours. 74, 75, but then 80 degrees farther inland during the day for tomorrow. For the peninsula, Pocosin and Hampton close to the water, 75, but then 77, 78, 79 degrees away from the effects of the bay. And for the Middle Peninsula, Northern Neck, Eastern Shore, a little cooler on the Eastern Shore, or about the same, 72 degrees for tomorrow. But most of us kind of an average around 77. Look at that, 80 degrees on Thursday, 76 with an increase in cloud cover on Friday. We'll see some rain late Friday night and early Saturday. Little cooler Saturday, but very comfortable Sunday, and really even into the first part of next week.
Trouble on the tarmac. We'll tell you how this jet ended up tilted down an embankment.
Then trouble at the tide tracks. Traffic signals out of sync. New at 5:30, we'll tell you which intersections to watch out for and what officials are doing to fix them.
A Delta plane rolled off a runway at Atlanta's airport this morning. Delta says 2 maintenance workers were testing the engines on the Boeing 737 when the brakes failed. No one was hurt. No passengers were on board when the jet crashed into an embankment and tilted on its side. Look at it there. The incident did not impact any flights. This afternoon, crews moved the jet to a maintenance facility to investigate what exactly went wrong.
A sad sight for children arriving for school in Pennsylvania. Fire destroyed their playground. Security video shows the fast-moving fire as flames ripped through the wood, the rubber, the mulch. People could see the thick black smoke from miles away. The play area is new. Crews built it in memory of a beloved kindergarten teacher who died of cancer. Investigators say witnesses reported seeing 3 teens on the playground before that fire. They haven't pinpointed an exact cause. The Catholic school plans to rebuild the equipment and rededicate the playground in memory of that teacher.
A spelling mistake, and of all places, outside a school. Take a look at the speed limit sign outside an elementary school in Fresno, California. That's right. The word children is spelled wrong. A TV station notified the school district. That sign will be replaced soon. Sharon.
Tens of millions have watched this story on Coney 2012.
We worry the rebel when they raise us again, then they will kill us.
Hear what happened to him then and what he thinks now when he watches the viral video.
A startling discovery in the trash, a bag full of severed fingers. Tonight at 5:30, hear who police say they belong to.
We are hearing from one of the young men featured in the documentary Coney 2012.
We worry the rebel when they raise us again, then they will kill us.
Tens of millions of people have watched this film, but you don't like to watch it.
Yeah, so it's just like because it brings a lot of memories, and like, you know, like sometimes I get sad watching it.
Jacob Okoye says that rebels with Joseph Kony's Lord Resistance Army came in the middle of the night to get him and bashed down the door of his hut in Uganda. He was one of 40 children kidnapped that night. Jacob says that his cousin was killed when he tried to escape.
They made him to be exemplary for us, like not let us escape, which was so sad, like seeing him being slaughtered in front of us. It's hard. It's really hard. It's very hard.
Jacob eventually escaped and is waiting for justice for all of Kony's victims. Well, last week we told you that local radio station 100.5 is raising awareness by rebranding the station, the website, the social media accounts on April the 20th. That same day, the activists behind the documentary, Invisible Children, are encouraging people around the world to put up Joseph Kony signs and posters to try and help bring the accused war criminal to justice. The search is over for a missing Portsmouth man.